Thank you for joining Artabella as we paint a cherry blossom tree. So first we need black, white, red, and blue paints, as well as a napkin to dry our brushes off with, a large brush, medium brush, and a small brush. So jumping in, I mixed a pink color, nice and light, so that I could kind of map out where I wanted my moon. Now this isn't 100% necessary, however it did kind of help me figure out where I wanted my shapes to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and start it on my background. So I'm going to do a nice gradient of purple to blue to white to yellow to pink to purple again. So I made purple using my red and blue, and I kept it that same color, only adding in a little bit of white to lighten it up, just to match my blue a little bit better. And then I bring my blue down, just another couple of inches or so. And here I start to go in with a mixture of white and blue. Now I did very, very little blue and a lot of white to make it that light blue color, and I'm just blending it upwards and even adding in a little bit more purple and my regular blue color just to get a nice gradient. Again, going in with some more white there towards the center, and that's where I bring my pink in, and I'm also going to be blending this up into that white as well. And you see towards the bottom I did start to add in that purple. Now it's the same purple that I used for the top with just a tad bit more red in it and a lot of white to make it a lighter kind of color. Once you've reached a nice gradient with your background, you're going to go ahead and take your medium-sized brush and draw in that actual moon. Now, like I said from earlier, it didn't really matter where I put my moon because I ended up covering it anyway. However, when my canvas dried, there was a slight lift in the paint, allowing me to kind of see where I had put that moon previously. So I tried my best to recreate that shape. So I outlined it, and now I'm filling it in, and you'll see that my background is peeling up into that white. But I was pretty okay with it because I used it to my advantage and started creating the shadows of the moon with my little bit of background that was pulling up. Jumping into our cliff, you're going to try your best to draw a straight line about 3/4 of the way across your canvas. And then you're going to bring that brush downwards in kind of a staircase kind of motion, but completely uneven and kind of just all over the place. You can add in as many little staircases as you'd like. You can leave it, just the 3 like I have. It's completely up to you. Now I'm just going in and I'm redoing that moon again just to make it pop just a little bit more because I didn't think it was really as clear as I wanted it to be. Now that my moon is about the shape that I want it, I'm going in with my largest brush and just filling in that entire cliff with black. Now I did lighten my black up just a little bit, and that's because I wanted it to fit the kind of pastel feel. So I wanted it to be more gray than pure black. Here we're going to go ahead and take our largest brush to add a little bit of detail lighting, and I dipped it in white, and I'm just brushing it quickly across my canvas, not going any more than about an inch in, and just kind of blending it in until you get these like light strokes. I'm only doing that at every edge of my cliff, so it kind of makes it look like they're staggered. Now going in with a nice light gray and my small detail brush, I'm going to start forming my cherry blossom tree. So I want it to be nice and thick towards the base and still be a slightly tall tree. So I'm just taking that detail brush and kind of twisting it all over, mimicking tree branches. When it comes to cherry blossoms, you have almost a shelf of flowers, so you want to make sure that your trunk is nice and filled in before you start in on those blossoms, because you won't have any of those flower buds, leaves, or anything to kind of cover up that you don't have branches. So now I'm taking that same small detail brush in my light pink and even a little bit of purple, and I'm just dotting away, creating small little buds. Now, like I said, cherry blossoms typically have like a shelf, so I kept all of my petals in one tight group, and then I did a second group up on the top just to extend my tree a little bit further. Adding in just a couple of details that are completely optional. I just wanted to bring a little bit more life to the canvas, so I added in a couple of squiggles that are kind of supposed to represent fallen branches and things like that, and I think it's a really nice touch. So I went ahead and added those, and I also added in a couple of branches that are on top of the cherry blossoms, since your branches do poke out. And I also just added in a little bit of a darker tone to those so they would stick out more. our final details, we're just adding some stars to the background. And I'm also going to pick up some red and put a little bit of that in my blossoms, as well as put some petals kind of floating in between. And that's about it.